Why am I pro-choice? I got an email from a young lady, and she said, I am so disappointed in you because you're pro-choice. And I asked her, I said, well, what is your definition of pro-choice? She said, to have an abortion. I said, well, that's not my definition of pro-choice. When I hear the word pro-choice, I hear choice. Pro-choice. You get a choice to make a decision if you're going to have your baby or if you're not going to have your baby. Um, I told her I was given that choice when I was 16 years old. I was 16, homeless, and pregnant. And when it came out, I was pregnant. Let's see, November, December, January, February, March. I was already about 4 or 5 months pregnant. I was given a choice. My aunt asked, do you want to have the baby or do you not want to have the baby? And I say, I'm going to have the baby. Because at 16 years old, for Janice, I made the choice to have my baby. The choice for me to not have the baby was just there like any other choice. I could have went down to the hospital. My cousin even took me down to Planned Parenthood. At the time, I think it was on wherever it was. It's not there anymore. If I remember correctly. But I made the choice at 16 years old to have my baby. But the other choice to not have my baby was also there. This is little Michael. This is not Lex. This is little Michael. So I want to really quick. I'm just sitting here going over some notes and doing my Bible study and praying and uh, responding to some notes from my editor. And I was like, let me just jump on and do this video really quick because I don't think I'm going to get to do anything else today. You see my hair. I'm still in my night clothes. I'm just sitting here just getting some work done. So, cousins, I want to know when you hear pro-choice, what do you hear? I even asked my husband just now. He was heading outside to uh, his prayer calls with his fraternity brothers. He take it in the truck. So if I'm doing my videos, we're not interrupting each other. I'm gonna ask him when you hear pro-choice, what do you hear? And he said like women having the choice to make a decision about whatever they want to do with their body. So I want to know what you think. Happy Saturday. I love you. I adore. Thank you for your love and support. Be sure to subscribe. So share this out for me. Yes, I know I have a lot more Ramsey's content to do, but I probably not today, girl. See, once I start with my book stuff in the morning, it is hard for me to break away. So I'm just like, let me just do this video really quick because I'm not going to get to do anything else for the day. So I want to know, yeah, so this young lady emailed me, and I've always said I'm not afraid to say it. I ain't ashamed to say, y'all know, because I'm not, honey, baby. There's only one man that pay my bills. His name is Michael Thompson. I'm not ashamed to say what I say, what I believe. Y'all know that about me. You ain't got to worry about me fighting around, beating around the bush. Nothing like that. And I have always said I am pro-choice, and my definition of pro-choice is your right to choose to either have the baby or not to have the baby. I believe in giving you that right. I'm also writing a book on this, so I'm not going to tell you what my title is. And the reason why I believe this is I believe that that's how God is, right? God does not force his belief on us. He doesn't, I pull up the definition of pro-choice. Let's read it. He doesn't say you have to do this. He gives us a choice, right? Pro-choice. Let's see. All. Pro-choice is a political, legal, and social movement that supports the legalism of abortion and the right of women to make their own reproductive decision. So I have always said on this channel, Other people think other things. And I think I've done this video before, but I feel like doing it again because this young lady emailed me that when I hear pro-choice, I do not hear have an abortion. I hear your right to choose to either have A or not have A. That's what I hear. I also believe that God wants us to make choices, and he does not force his choices on us. So one of my favorite scriptures is in the book of Joshua, where God said to the people, choose you this day who you will serve. Let's look that up. Joshua, I think it's Joshua 24. Let's look it up. So here it is, Joshua 24. This is one of my favorite scriptures. And one of the reasons I am pro-choice in that women get the right to choose what they will with their body. Whatever that choice is, I believe in it. Okay? I believe in your right to choose what you want to do with your body. And so Joshua, I was going to name my little boy Joshua if my husband didn't have a good name, but thankfully his name was Michael. So, it worked out. If I had a little boy, I would have named him Joshua. Joshua 24, this is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible that has to do with choice. And it says, and if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the floods, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Right? Let's read the next verse. But as for me and my Lord, my house will serve. This is Joshua saying to the people, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered, said, God forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. Verse 17, for the Lord our God, he is that brought us out and our fathers out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in his sight, and preserve us in all the way wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we passed. So you could finish reading this, but another one that has to do with serving the Lord is in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 30 and 19. 30 and 19. And it has to do with choice. Whatever that choice is, you get the right. You have the right to make the choice. Verse 9. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death. Life and death. Come on, church. Choice. Choose. I've set before you like blessings and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. So God is saying, I've given you a choice. I've set life before you, death before you, blessings and curses. And then, because he knows we're too dumb to decide, he said, therefore, choose life, that both you and your seed may live. I don't know what else is clearer than this. Verse 20, that you mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is your life and the length of days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. So even at 16 years old, I didn't know much about the Bible, which is another reason and why I was fornicating and get pregnant. But I knew at 16, I'm going to choose life. I'm not going to flush Lexi down the toilet. I knew that for me. And 20 years later, the baby that I had at 16 that I did not flush down the toilet is looking at her little brother. My kids are 20 years apart. Oh, Michael, so chunky, baby. So chunky, baby. I chose life both times. Little Michael. So you get the right to choose. To me, that's what pro-choice is. I have the right to choose. And I chose life. I chose life. I chose to give life. I chose to have life. I chose to give my children life. So what will you choose? To me, that's what it means. We just read it. Life and death. Choose. God didn't say, I'm only giving you one option or one option. I'm giving you both. And then because he knows we're too dumb, he said, choose life so that you and your seed may live. Right? Even with salvation, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever, that's my favorite scripture in the Bible. I think that John 3:16 sum up the whole Bible. Whosoever will, for God so loved the world that whosoever, whoever, not just the Jews, not us, because you're rich, not because you're white, but whosoever will. Let me go to it just in case this is new to you. I like when it comes to the scriptures, I try my very best to try to pull them up. Let's read that together. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Jesus already died for us. That he gave his own begotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Just verse 17, for God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believe on him is not condemned, but he that believe not is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the Lord, the only begotten son. So you can believe, not believe. You can accept, not accept. You can choose life. You can choose death. You can choose Jesus. You can choose the devil. Pro-choice. You have the right to choose. So you choose whatever you want to choose. But just remember, he already told you to choose life. I got to go. I'm sitting here doing my devotion. Do y'all understand what I mean? You know, because and I asked the young lady, I said, are you new here? Because sometimes people listen to something and they don't really hear or know or whatever, you know, but I'm glad the young lady reached out to me so that I can explain it to her, because we've talked about this before. When a lot of people hear pro-choice, they hear have an abortion. And when I hear pro-choice, I hear you have the choice to either have an abortion or not have an abortion. Again, I was given that option at 16. Lexi's 30 years old. My big baby just turned 30 years old. I chose life. I could have flushed her down the toilet. Y'all would have never known about cousin sister Lexi. But at 16, I already fornicated having a baby. In my little 16-year-old brain and mind, I am not about to take a life. I know I have the choice to, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to choose, I chose to have my baby. Y'all would have never known about Lexi. But I chose to have her. I love you. I have to go. Thanks for those of you showing me love and support. I'm going to be here all day, child. I'm trying to finishing up some book work here. Let me know what you think about this. Bye.